Hey, what is up guys? It's Brennan here, and today we're going to be comparing QuickBooks versus Wave. So which is the better accounting and bookkeeping software for your small business? That's what we're going to be breaking down when we're comparing Wave and QuickBooks. Which really is better? Both platforms have a ton of different features to offer, and really it just depends on your specific business, what you're looking for in a software solution, and what you personally prefer. Now, before we dive in, I do want to mention there is the first link down in the description box below will take you right over to a QuickBooks special savings just for those of you watching today's video. That is brennanvalesky.com/QuickBooks. That's the first link down in the description box below. If you do want to end up going with QuickBooks, we're going to be comparing both platforms, and also the pricing is accurate as of the making of today's video. All of the pricing mentioned for both platforms, of course, is subject to change when you take a look at it. So QuickBooks versus Wave. Really, first and foremost, Wave is a free platform. So if you're looking at something that if you just want to save money, then obviously the easy choice is to go with Wave if you're looking to save money, because they do offer a free version. Many of the aspects of just the accounting and bookkeeping software within Wave is free to use. So if you're looking for a free accounting solution, then the easy pick is Wave. QuickBooks does have, of course, a discounted rate, but it is a paid platform, so that is at least something to consider depending on how sensitive you are to the pricing and what you're looking for. Now, each offer a ton of different accounting and small business features. Both have invoicing, right? So you can send invoices as well directly through the platforms on both of them as well. Now, if we take a look at just the specific pricing as to, well, what does Wave include for free, right? So as far as the pricing, of course, for Wave specifically, as you can see here, you can do invoicing for free, accounting for free, and banking for free as well, as far as connecting for bookkeeping and organizing things when it comes to bookkeeping and accounting, as well as invoicing. Those are all free features within Wave, comparative to QuickBooks, where you pay that monthly fee, and then you're able to get access to all features within QuickBooks as well. We're going to be taking a look at some of the specific nitty-gritty details. I have used both platforms, so I am giving you a pretty accurate comparison between the two platforms. Now, I will say with Wave, the way that they make their money, of course, is they do offer premium features such as like advisory. QuickBooks also has things like this as well. And Wave charges for their payroll services as well as for accepting payments. So depending on what you need, there are, of course, paid features within Wave, but the basic aspects of just invoicing, accounting, and banking is free to use within Wave. Now, diving into more of the other specific features, one thing to keep in mind is obviously both allow you to do your accounting and transactions. So you are going to be able to categorize your transactions for accounting and bookkeeping, making sure that your books are in order when it comes for tax time. So that's another big aspect, of course, that both platforms are going to offer you. Now, when it does come for tax time, it is important to mention that, of course, QuickBooks is under the Intuit brand. So Intuit easily, obviously they also own TurboTax. So Intuit QuickBooks easily connects with Intuit TurboTax. So if you're already a longtime user of TurboTax, definitely makes a lot of sense to stick within the QuickBooks ecosystem and the Intuit ecosystem. Wave connects to H&R Block. So maybe if you already use H&R Block, then Wave makes a ton of sense for you because it easily connects and pairs with H&R Block for tax time. So that's something to consider there between the two platforms as far as what they connect to for taxes. Now, when it comes more just to accounting and bookkeeping, both have cash flow statements, so you can easily see, your profit and loss. As you bring in income and you have expenses, you can easily see, your income and expenses. Break it down per month and per year, your total net income for the year, and break it down month by month as transactions come in. Now, both do have some level of automation as far as your accounting goes, with tracking accounting, as well as managing, your transactions within your accounting. I will say that QuickBooks' automation is a little bit more extensive as far as managing rules and setting up rules for, hey, this type of transaction comes in. Wave does also have some AI for that. It just depends on your personal preference, of course. Both are a step above a traditional spreadsheet. So, obviously they both get points there. You can also, of course, pay employees and contractors or accept them through invoices as well. So you can do both of those things within each platform. With some of the biggest differences, though, between Wave and QuickBooks, obviously, the pricing and plans is the biggest difference. But beyond that as well, you can separate both business and personal expenses, as a small business owner. Of course, I'm not a CPA or an accountant, so this is all just coming from the perspective purely as a small business owner looking to do maybe some DIY accounting or bookkeeping for your small business. Now, with Wave, you can easily have your personal account and business account and break down the transactions, whether it's a business transaction or a personal transaction. You could do that within regular QuickBooks Online. If you want to exclude personal transactions, you can do that as well within QuickBooks and set that up there with your business transactions. Now, when you're comparing the different platforms, of course, Intuit QuickBooks Online is the main one, but there is also QuickBooks Self-Employed if you're looking for that solution as well. That is another alternative option that QuickBooks has as far as their different products and on their platform that you can use. Now, another feature within Wave is it is a bit easier and cheaper. Obviously, well, it's definitely cheaper with Wave. If you want to add additional businesses to track. So with Wave, you can easily add in additional businesses to your account without having to pay an additional subscription. So that is one of the nice things, at least with Wave, is it's easy and cheaper and more cost effective to add in additional businesses. So say, for example, if you had, just multiple businesses, it's easier to track those and add them in. Whereas with QuickBooks, you can add different locations, but more or less everything needs to be lumped together. If it is just like one business nature that you're doing, of course, within QuickBooks. And at the end of the day, realistically, like when you're paying your taxes, if it's all one business or can be lumped under one business or type of business, then, obviously you're going to want to do that. Of course, speak with your tax advisor, your CPA for business specifics as far as, if it's separate LLCs, then yeah, you're going to want to separate them obviously by business, and you're going to need additional subscriptions within QuickBooks. So that's one of the cons, at least within QuickBooks, is just separating out separate business files. If you just have the one main one that you can group things together, maybe as a solopreneur or as a sole proprietor, then that's easy within QuickBooks. It's not a big deal. But if you do have a lot of separate natures of business, it's just another cost to consider. At the end of the day, if you prefer the QuickBooks platform, you're going to want to just stick with QuickBooks and you can easily switch between the different businesses. But that is something to consider. It will be an additional cost that you wouldn't have with Wave, because you can easily add those additional businesses at no additional cost within Wave. So that is something else to consider as far as segmenting things out. There's a lot of different ways that you could go about doing that, of course. At the end of the day, it really just depends on your business structure as to how you break down your accounts. But additional subscriptions is something to consider as well. That is one pro of Wave, is just being able to add additional businesses easily and cost effectively. So that's a really big difference with Wave as well. Now, of course, both offer really all of the same types of features as far as invoicing, payments. If you're looking at invoicing, they both can send invoices, professional looking invoices, and then they import directly into your accounting software. You have payments as well, of course, accepting payments as well from customers. Of course, we already touched on accounting and tracking income and expenses, looking at your cash flow statements, or rather your profit and loss statements at the end of the day. Both have your ability to do that and check your profit and loss, which is what you end up filing your taxes are at the end of the year, of course. Another nice thing is, of course, each of them is just easy to track, whether it be monthly, quarterly, however you want to do that, of course. You also have the banking features, so you can set up business banking through both Wave and QuickBooks, they do offer banking that you can set up through them. That's another option you have as well. Payroll, they both offer payroll systems and setups. Now, payroll, of course, is an additional charge with both platforms. It's an additional charge for Wave, and it's an additional charge, it's an optional additional charge for both QuickBooks and for Wave. So consider that there. And advisors, of course, both of them have one-on-one help advisors that they do offer at additional charge as well. Now, as far as the different plans and pricing, of course, QuickBooks has, just generally speaking, a lot more features. It's more flexible. It is the more popular solution. I really like the QuickBooks app personally. It's really nice and easy to break down the charts of your profit and loss statement, looking at your income and expenses. You have a lot of flexibility with customizing your profit and loss reports, as well as other additional accounting and bookkeeping reports that you can then customize within QuickBooks. It's also nice and scalable long term. If you plan to expand your business, you can always add additional features down the line. QuickBooks is just a more premium platform. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but I think those features are really worth it at the end of the day. If you want something that's just purely cost effective, then Wave is a great option because it is free at the end of the day. As far as the back end, Personally, I still prefer QuickBooks as far as the reporting, the dashboard. I think it's just a lot sleeker, a lot easier to use. The rules and AI, really, really high quality as well within QuickBooks. Not to say that Wave is a low quality platform, because it's definitely not. It is really a great platform within itself and really does give you a lot of features, considering the fact that it is a free accounting software. You really can't beat that. It's definitely a step above a spreadsheet. If you're going from spreadsheets, you can at least move to some level of automation when it comes to importing your transactions from your bank accounts, automatically. Wave does that as well. So if that's what you're looking for, just automatically importing things and then categorizing everything, you can do that within Wave and reconcile your transactions within Wave when it comes for tax time. But if you're already in the Intuit family, then it makes sense to go with QuickBooks, as well as some of the other aspects that I mentioned in this video when you're comparing the two platforms. Now, both features really are great, or both platforms really are great. Really just depends on your specific needs. I would say at the end of the day, give both of them a shot, because it's really kind of down to personal preference as to which one you may like better based on the dashboard and how transactions are categorized as well for your Schedule C. When it comes tax time, of course, for your accounting and managing your transactions. Within each of the platforms, both have a lot of integrations, both allow you to automatically import transactions. Of course, it just depends on what you need for your accounting software. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video or found this comparison helpful when you're trying to decide between Intuit QuickBooks or between Wave Financial, leave this video a like, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Guys, once again, I do want to mention I have that link down in the description box below. The first link will take you right over to QuickBooks for additional savings. That's brandvaleski.com/QuickBooks. Feel free to choose whichever platform you think is best for you. Give them both a shot, especially because Wave is free. You can try it out, to see if it's good enough for you. Otherwise, you can go with QuickBooks and get out of your spreadsheet either way, or maybe you just stick with the spreadsheet. Maybe, that's a good free solution for you. You could always stick with that if you're lower volume and you just want to keep things basic. It really depends on you at the end of the day and your personal preferences. So QuickBooks versus Wave, really, which is better? It depends on your specific needs. So guys, that is all for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.